Okay, off to Kenya in the continent of Africa to a town called Mosiro. The promise of school. Imagine if the decision about who you would marry someday was made before you were born. And if, instead of going to school, you were married off at a young age to someone as old as your parents. For girls in the Maasai society of Kenya, that's been a reality for centuries. Until 1999, that is, when Marjorie Kabuya came along with a plan to change their lives. She opened the Naningoi Girls Boarding School, the first school for Maasai girls. Booked for marriage. Maasai fathers traditionally book or promise their daughters for marriage when they are very young, sometimes before they are even born. In exchange, the fathers receive a dowry of several cattle, food, and other gifts from the groom. This practice is called esayata. Fact: more than 80 million girls in developing countries will be married before they turn 18 years old. Exchanging bridegrooms for classrooms. Esayata is an important age-old custom in the Maasai culture. Marjorie knew that she'd never get parents to send their girls to school if she tried to stop esayata. Instead, she incorporated the practice into her approach. With the help of a well-respected community leader, Chief Simeon Keshoko, she recruited several Maasai elders to act as suitors for the school. The suitors approach girls' fathers, offering them a dowry of cattle, food, and other gifts. Instead of booking their girls for marriage, they book them for school. The girls are enrolled for 8 years at Naingoi, and their fathers promised not to marry them off during that time. The girls live full-time at the school. When girls are already booked for marriage, their fathers and future husbands are offered a dowry refund to allow them to go to school. Chief Keshoko encourages people in the community to contribute the cattle, goats, and sheep needed for dowry refunds. He's helped convince many adults that education for girls is good for the whole community. The commitment grows. The first year, 4 girls began studying at the Naning Girls Boarding School. Since then, over 350 students have attended, and 500 more are booked. Esayata is a serious bond, and all the parents who agree to send their girls to school honor their promise not to marry them off during that time. Almost 100% of the students finish the 8 years of school. Some will return home after primary school to get married. Others want to postpone marriage and continue their education, if their families are willing and can afford to pay. The school has 6 classrooms, 9 teachers, and a house where the girls live and sleep. It is funded by Child Fund International, an organization that sponsors children around the world. Fact: educating girls helps entire communities in a number of ways. An educated girl grows up to be an educated woman and mother. She's more likely to be productive at home, better paid in the workplace, better able to protect herself and her children, healthy and well-nourished, able to send her kids to school, and active in politics and community life. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed the little bit of culture that we just reviewed from Kenya in Africa. We are off to our next school, but before that, let's discuss what we just heard, because we heard a lot in this article. So, time to discuss.